So, you've decided to build a really cool web scraping app. You've got Flask, your trusty, classic web framework, and you want to use Playwright, the powerful, modern browser automation tool. It should be simple, right? But as you've probably discovered when you try to put them together, you hit a wall, a really frustrating wall. It's a clash of programming titans, and it can stop your project dead in its tracks.
And then you see this. Ah, yes, this error message. It pops up in your logs and just haunts you. Now, what's so frustrating is that this isn't just some simple bug you can patch away. This error is a symptom of a much deeper, fundamental conflict in how these two tools are built. You've got two different paradigms fighting for control, and your app is stuck right in the middle of the battle. So what is actually going on here? Why does this crash happen? Well, it really is a tale of two different worlds trying to exist in the exact same space at the exact same time. On one hand, you have the established, reliable world of traditional web servers, and on the other, you have the new, super-fast world of asynchronous programming.
Okay, let's break it down. Think of Flask as the mothership. It's built on a standard called WSGI, which is synchronous. That means when a request comes in, a worker picks it up and handles that one task from start to finish before it can do anything else. It's blocking. Now, Playwright is like a futuristic warp drive. It's built on something called asynchronous, and it's designed to juggle tons of tasks at once without waiting around. The problem is, Playwright's async world needs to start its engine, but it finds that Flask's synchronous engine is already running in that spot.
And the heart of this whole conflict is the async event loop. You can think of it as the conductor of an orchestra. It's the one thing that tells all the different asynchronous tasks when to run. Here's the catch. You can only have one conductor. Both the server running Flask and the async version of Playwright want to be the sole manager of this event loop. So when Playwright tries to start its own orchestra inside a Flask request that's already being conducted, Python throws its hands up and says, "Whoa, hold on, this event loop is already running."
Now, if you go searching for a solution, I can almost guarantee you're going to stumble upon a library called Nest Asyncio. And at first, it seems like pure magic. You add a couple of lines and the error goes away. But please be careful. This is a really dangerous band-aid. It papers over the architectural problem, and when you put your app under real-world production load, it can cause your entire application to just freeze, a total deadlock. We need a real solution, not a clever hack.
All right, so if hacks are off the table, what's the right way to fix this? Let's dive into our first solid architectural pattern. I call it the sidecar, and it's a great approach for simpler use cases. The idea here is actually pretty clever. Instead of trying to win the event loop fight, we just avoid it completely. Here's how it works. Your Flask app gets a request. Instead of running Playwright right there, it kicks off a brand new background thread. And inside that completely separate thread, you run the synchronous version of Playwright. Because it's in its own isolated world, it never clashes with the main web server. It's like attaching a little sidecar to your motorcycle to carry the extra load. It's simple, it works, but it's not built for massive scale, because creating a new thread for every single request can get pretty heavy on resources.
So what do you do when you need real power? When you need something that can scale up and handle a ton of traffic? For a truly production-ready solution, we need to completely separate our web server from the heavy lifting of browser automation. And this brings us to the gold standard, the worker fleet pattern, usually powered by something like Celery.
Okay, check out this workflow. A request hits your Flask API, but instead of doing the scraping work itself, Flask's only job is to package up that task and drop it onto a message queue, like Redis. Then it immediately replies to the user saying, "Yep, got your job," and gives them a task ID to check on it later. Now, completely separate from your web server, you have a fleet of Celery workers. They're just sitting there watching the queue. One of them sees the new job, picks it up, and runs the entire long-running Playwright script. The result? Your web server stays incredibly fast and responsive, no matter how heavy the scraping is.
And the benefits of doing it this way are just huge. Your app feels lightning fast to your users because the web server never gets blocked. If you start getting more traffic and need more scraping power, you don't even touch the web server, you just add more Celery workers to your fleet. That's true horizontal scaling. Plus, you get all this other great stuff for free, like automatic retries if a task fails, and the ability to schedule jobs. It's just a much cleaner, more resilient architecture.
Our last pattern is all about looking to the future. This is for when you're starting a brand new project or maybe doing a big refactor of an old one. The idea is, instead of trying to shoehorn an async tool into a sync world, why not just build your entire application to be async from the ground up? And you can just see the difference this makes in the code. I mean, look at the elegance on the right side. With a framework like Fast API that's built for async, there are no threads, no complex queues to manage. Your route is just an async def function, and you can literally await your Playwright commands right inside it. The framework and the library are finally speaking the same language, and your code becomes so much cleaner, so much more intuitive. It's just how it's supposed to be.
So, we've walked through 3 really solid patterns to solve this async conflict. But the big lesson here goes way beyond just Flask and Playwright. It's about thinking architecturally, and this same principle applies to how you use powerful tools like Playwright itself.
This right here, this is absolutely critical if you're working at any kind of scale. A really common mistake people make is to launch a whole new, heavyweight browser process for every single scraping task. But Playwright gives you a much smarter way to do it. Browser contexts. Think of a context like a perfectly isolated incognito session inside a single already running browser. And just look at the numbers. A new context uses over 90% less memory than launching a whole new browser. For running lots of jobs at once, this is a total game changer.
So what's the ultimate point here? It all boils down to this single principle. The patterns we talked about, choosing a task queue instead of a risky patch, or using browser context instead of heavy browser instances, they all prove the same thing. Taking the time to think about and choose the right architecture will always result in a better, more stable, and more scalable app than any clever, last-minute hack ever will.
And that's our look at solving one of the trickiest problems in modern web development. Hey, if this explainer helped you out or saved you from a future headache, do me a favor and hit that like button and maybe share it with your team. And for more deep dives into technical challenges like this, make sure you subscribe to the Lollit official channel.
Thanks so much for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.